Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. By far, the best game we have played so far this season, and we've had some good ones. We scored five against Nuremberg. We scored another five against. We scored so many times I even forget some. We scored five against Ipswich. We scored another three against Orlando City, and a very good victory against Everton. But this was by far our best victory. First of all, Zinchenko made his debut, and we put four past Chelsea. Chelsea, of all people, in London derby. It's never friendly when facing Chelsea. Let's be honest. It is never a friendly match when playing them. You have to win, and this was actually for a trophy, and we've won that trophy. We have to celebrate it because teams like Man United have been celebrating their Bangkok Cup, so we have to celebrate ours. What a win against Chelsea! I had predicted a 3-2. I expected us to get 3 goals or more, but expecting us to keep a clean sheet, but that defense was so good, but a clean sheet would have been too much because it's just a friendly. I expect us to concede. But what a performance that was. So, as usual, I'll go through the team lineup. I'll go through how we did in the game and obviously the player ratings at the end. What an enjoyable tour. What a way to end the USA tour. We are now have one friendly match remaining against Sevilla, and it's looking like we are kind of ready for the season. Of course, we still need some players. We still need some more players, but the players that started today, what a game. What a performance from all of them. Like, I cannot fault any of them at all. What a performance it was. So, let me know what you made of the game as we go through the lineup. So, we'll start with Arsenal's lineup for today. We did have Ramsdale in goal. Obviously, we did expect him to start 100%. We also had Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, and Ben White. Zinchenko making his debut right away, like 2 days after signing. He has already made his debut. Things you love to see. Usually, when players are signed, they take a couple of days to settle into the side. They take a couple of sometimes even months to even make their debut to start a game. But Zinchenko, right away, 2 days later, he has already made his debut. He has already started the game, and this is very good. I mean, we played in at left back. Most of us are expecting to start in midfield, but since Tierney is always injured, unfortunately, I think that is a position where we'll see Zinchenko playing most of the times left back because of Tierney's injuries, and Xhaka in midfield. I guess it's a positive because he's always fit, but for you, some of you'd say it's a negative. But no one wants anyone to get injured. Xhaka is always fit, so Xhaka will always be there, and Zinchenko will have to fill in at left back because this other guy is always injured, unfortunately. So that was the lineup at the back, and then obviously Gabriel and Saliba, the two guys who are very, very good. Like, I don't think we've considered a goal with Gabriel and Saliba on the pitch, and Ben White as well. Ben White is looking very, very good at right back, and I think that is the same defense we'll see starting against Crystal Palace in the first game of the season. Ben White looks very, very sharp at right back as well. I think we'll see the three of them starting most of the games next season. Ben White at right back, even when Tomiyasu is there sometimes, and sometimes we could see a back three of Gabriel, Saliba, and Ben White, and the wing backs. We are definitely going to see that. And then in midfield, we have Thomas Partey, Jacques, and Odegaard, a better midfield to have than the one that we had the other day. Remember the other day against Orlando City, we had Lokonga, we had Niles, and we had El Neni in midfield, and our midfield was basically non-existent, and that was a bad thing. That was a bad thing. Our midfield was absolutely exposed on that day. It was too easy for Orlando City to play against us. I mean, that was an MLS team. You can just imagine what can happen to you if you're playing against Liverpool and those kind of teams in the Premier League with that kind of midfield, El Neni and all those guys. So it was great to have the likes of Thomas Partey starting and Odegaard, the quality of them. And Jacques was great as well. And then up front, he had Martinelli, Saka, and Gabriel Jesus. I think those are the three players that will start against Crystal Palace as well, unless we buy players in that position. And we are linked to a winger right now, but you're not sure if he's going to come in time to play in the first game. We have to wait and see. And then on the bench, we had Matt Turner, Tavares, Cedric Bellerin, Pablo Mari, Holding, Niles, Lokonga, El Neni, Pepe, Marquinhos, Balagan, Nelson, and Eddie Nketiah. That was our bench. The midfield that started the other day, Niles, Lokonga, El Neni, obviously backup plane Holding, Pablo Mari, Bellerin, who I don't expect to be here next season. Cedric is probably definitely going to be here. Ketia, obviously, I did expect him to start. I'd predicted Ketia to start instead of Martinelli. I thought Jesus would start on the right, maybe Saka on the left, and then Ketia up front, or Ketia on the left, Jesus up front, and then Saka on the right. But no, he went for Martinelli again. again. And that kind of shows me that Martinelli will be there in the first game of the season. Him and Tavares have played a lot of games so far this preseason. I think Martinelli has played almost more minutes than anyone else. I think he started against I still have the lineups from the other day. I think he started against when he played Orlando City. He started against Orlando City and also against Everton. I think he played a lot of minutes in that one as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I've seen Martinelli a lot in this preseason so far, and I think his fitness is looking good, which is great. I think he will be starting against Crystal Palace. So that was Arsenal's lineup. Very, very good. I think that is the lineup that will start against Crystal Palace, unless we sign Tielemans or Tierney recovers and then Zinchenko pushes into midfield and Tierney starts on the left, or Tomiyasu miraculously recovers before the season starts and he plays instead of Ben White. But I actually don't have a problem with Ben White playing at right back. He looks very solid, especially defensively when he's up against players like when you're up against players like Zaha, when you're up against players like those tricky players, Son. It is always hard sometimes for right backs to even deal with them. So if you have a centre back who has a bit of pace in him or within him, and then who can defend very well, who can make a tackle, that can really help. And today, Ben White, Saliba, and Gabriel looked very, very solid. If you watched the game, let me know what you made of them at the back. And then this was Chelsea's team for today. They played the back four. For the Chelsea fans, they know that the back four does not work out for them at all. And Emerson, Thiago Silva, Chalobah, James was their back four. To be honest, in the match build-up, I did say that is a very, very weak point, especially Emerson against Saka. But surprisingly, Martinelli looked very, very threatening on that right side against James and Chalobah, and that they are really struggling. And Jesus from the center. In midfield, they had Jorginho, Mount, and Gallagher. Mount is always a threat. He's the only one who hit the post for them in the first half, the only attempt in the first half. And then they had Sterling, Havertz, and Werner. If you didn't watch the game, you didn't miss any Sterling highlights. There were literally no Sterling highlights. Like on that side, getting marked by Saliba and Ben White, he had no chance. Like absolutely, I don't remember seeing Sterling in that match at all. That's how good Ben White was on that side. That's how good Saliba was on that side. They totally marked out Sterling from the game. It was basically only two Man City players on the pitch, Zinchenko and Jesus. Sterling was non-existent. On the bench for them, they had Alonso, Chilwell, Azpilicueta, Koulibaly, Sarr, Ampadu, Kovacic, Ziyech, Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, Batshuayi, and Sherman. That was their bench. That was Chelsea's bench. I mean, I had said like their bench, the second half, Kovacic, Ziyech, Koulibaly, Azpilicueta. I thought when they made their subs and when we're going to make our subs, I thought they were going to at least score 2 goals in that second half, because I think their bench looked better than ours. I mean, they were going to bring in their new signing, Koulibaly. They were going to bring in Azpilicueta. They're going to bring in Chilwell and Alonso, Pulisic in his home country, enjoying himself. Ziyech, and then our team that we are going to bring from the bench wasn't that strong in terms of Lokong and Niles, holding Pablo Mari. I wasn't too confident. I thought Chelsea in the second half would definitely get the better of us, but that was definitely not the case. In fact, the first half was so good, and the second half was almost even better, like in terms of just pressuring them, making them commit so many fouls. I think they picked up like 4 yellow cards because of the amount of like just everything. We were winning every single second ball. They had to foul the likes of Saka from the first minute. Their midfield was absolutely exposed by Thomas Partey and the likes of Odegaard, looking very, very good. And every game that Arsenal play, I am loving Odegaard more and more. Like he's looking better and better. He's looking way, way too good. The way he just controls the ball, the way he controls the midfield, absolutely love him. So how did the game go? I had predicted a 3-2. I did not expect us to make such a quick start. Obviously, Zinchenko started the game. I was so happy to see him starting. And within the first 5 minutes, you could see his qualities. Like he did make a couple of good passes. He did attempt a shot that if it went in, we would have gone crazy. Like I imagine if he scored from there on his debut, that would have been absolutely crazy. Chelsea actually had a corner in the 5th minute, and we counter-attacked them so well. Martinelli doing so well and passing the ball to Saka, and right away, Saka had a one-on-one chance against Mendy. Now, Mendy is a very good goalkeeper. Saka was kind of not sure in that position. Like he could easily have passed it back to Martinelli. It would have been easy. It would have slipped in the ball easily for him, or he could have moved back or cut back to his left foot. He could have scored easily with his left foot, but he went with his right foot, and it was an easy save for Mendy. So that is still, you could say that is still the one thing that Saka needs to work on, and Martinelli as well, in terms of finishing. Like I know they're going to be perfect on it in it very, very soon. Like if they perfect that part of their game, like the finishing, I think Martinelli is a very good finisher. I actually think, correct me if I'm wrong, I actually think Martinelli is a better finisher than Saka. Like if we had both of them in a one-on-one chance, I'd trust Martinelli more to do it, because we've seen Martinelli, especially in one-on-one situations, we've seen Martinelli scoring more than Saka in one-on-one situations. I think Martinelli is a better finisher. 2 seasons ago, I did say Saka and Smith Rowe aren't the best finishers. I needed them to improve in terms of goals and assists. And last season, they did that. Saka scored a few goals. Smith Rowe scored a few goals. They both added to their goals and added to their assists. So that is still something I need them to improve on. And Chelsea did not have the ball at all again in that first half. We were dominating possession. Saliba was so comfortable. Saliba put in a very good block on Werner for them to win that corner that we counter-attacked them from. Ben White looked very comfortable against Sterling. Zinchenko looked like he had been at Arsenal for years as well, just like Jesus a couple of weeks ago. Like looked very comfortable on the ball, handled everything he needed to handle, no pressure at all. We knew he was going to play only 45 minutes, and in those 45 minutes, he did okay. I mean, you can't say he did badly at all. He did absolutely okay. And then came the time for Gabriel Jesus again. Just check the match build-up, check the match preview, and hear what I said. There were the sentence that I said, or the statement that I made was, Jesus will definitely score again. You know it, right? And he did. Surprise, surprise, Jesus scored again. It is not a surprise anymore. I still can't believe people were saying 2 weeks ago, Jesus, why is Arsenal signing Jesus when there's Osimhen? This is not the answer. Jesus was a reject at Man City. He was sitting on the bench when Man City didn't have a striker. Like, this guy cannot be the answer. He's too young. We need a striker who can score 30 goals. Oh, I have a statement for you. Jesus is the type of striker to score 20 goals. He will score 20 goals for us next season. The reason I believe he never scored those number of goals at Man City is because he never started games a lot. We never saw Gabriel Jesus starting even 6-7 games in a row for Man City. Never. At Arsenal, he is going to get that. Like, he's way better than what we had last season. Technically, on the left foot, on the right foot, in finishing is very good. His combination play is what impresses me the most. Like, Gabriel Jesus seems like the kind of player, like in that lineup, Gabriel Jesus up front, it seems like he has played with Martinelli for more than 5 years. It seems like he had played with Saka more than 5 years. The way he combines with Odegaard as well. The other day against Everton, Odegaard and Gabriel Jesus' combination play was absolutely amazing. And today, same as well. He seems to have settled into the team very, very perfectly. And I'm very, very happy to have a striker who can make runs in behind. A striker who doesn't have, is not one-dimensional. He can do different things on the pitch. Very, very exciting to see. So Gabriel Jesus opened the scoring. The goal that he scored, in case you haven't seen it, oh my goodness, what a goal it was. What a pass. It was a pass from Gareth Xhaka. Shout out to him. He got an assist. And the way Gabriel Jesus just dinked the goalkeeper, absolutely amazing, man. Like, it seems easy, but a lot of people will miss from that situation. But the way Gabriel Jesus did it, absolutely amazing. And we were 1-0 up within 15 minutes. Could easily have been 2 or 3 because Saka had missed a one-on-one chance, and Zinchenko had a couple of shots blocked already. By the way, Zinchenko was getting forward so many times in those first 20 minutes. He was almost playing like a left winger, and you can tell Zinchenko can play farther forward the way he played even today from left back. And then we kept on pressuring Chelsea after it was 1-0. We won a free kick. They committed a couple of very, very frustrating challenges. They fouled Jesus like twice. They fouled Saka twice. I don't know why Gallagher didn't get a yellow card. I don't know why most of their players didn't get a yellow card. The commentators kept on saying it is just a friendly. It's a derby, but it's just a friendly. Why are Chelsea fouling? They are fouling so many times. But from that free kick, one of the free kicks, Odegaard, the free kick was saved. Odegaard is taking fantastic free kicks, man. I know he scored from a free kick last season, but Xhaka last game took a very good free kick. Partey took a very good free kick. Odegaard is taking good free kicks as well. Every single free kick I see him taking, like, what the hell is going on? We might win the league, guys. We might win the league. So Odegaard had that attempt from the free kick, and then we kept on pressuring them between the 20th and 30th minute. Obviously, there was a cooling break. I'll tell you why there was a cooling break. I know that they do cooling breaks there, but there are cooling breaks because Arsenal was on fire. That is why they needed the cooling breaks, because Arsenal was absolutely on fire and they needed to stop us a bit. So they took a cooling break for a few minutes, and then when we came back, it was business as usual. Martinelli actually went down injured. I was very scared because there are some players that every time they go down, I'm just like, oh no. Tierney, Martinelli, and Thomas Partey. Because thankfully, Martinelli seems to have recovered from his 1 year injury, and Partey and Tierney and Tomiyasu as well, I'm always worried about. But the new players as well, when Jesus goes down getting treatment, I always get very, very worried because, I mean, if something happened to Jesus right now in terms of injury, I'd be in a very, very sad state for the whole season, man. Like, he stay hopefully he stays fit. I know he's going to stay fit. So that fifth minute, Martinelli. By the way, Martinelli had just been treated. I think he fell on his hand and then he like twisted his wrist or something, and then he got some treatment for a couple of minutes, and then right away he got up. That is a South American warrior right there, Martinelli. He got up. He dribbled past a couple of players. Ben White and Gabriel providing those long passes, incredible. And Martinelli's pass to Odegaard for the second goal was absolutely class, man. Absolutely class. And this picture of Zinchenko and Odegaard celebrating, absolutely freaking amazing, man. Just look at that. Like Odegaard, 2-0 to Arsenal. Odegaard's finish very, very good. It is very, very great to see Odegaard scoring as well. That is something that if we can get next season, if we can get let's say 15 to 18 goals from Jesus, and then we get like even 8 from Saka, and then you get another 8 from Martinelli, and then you can get like another 6 from Odegaard. You get like 4 from Gabriel chipping in, maybe 2 from Saliba, 1 from Ben White. Like if we can get everyone chipping in, Thomas Partey as well. I need one of those Thomas Partey shots to go in. He tried another one today. It was so close again. One day it will go in. Like if we can get all of those guys contributing, let me know how many goals you'd want Jesus to score next season. Would you want to see Jesus scoring 30 goals? Would you be happy Jesus scoring 30 goals? Or would you be happier if Jesus got like 12 and then Martinelli got 10, Saka got 9? Which one would make you feel happier? A balance of Jesus, Saka, Martinelli all combining for goals and assists? Or do you just want Jesus to show us all his goal scoring ability by scoring 40 goals next season? Which one would you want to see? But Odegaard's finish was absolutely class. Martinelli's pass was perfect, and it was 2-0, and Chelsea could not handle us those first 35 minutes. They absolutely could not handle us. Now, right, that's before halftime. Mount did hit the post, but there was a part of me that was worried. We've done the job in the first half. We've scored 2 goals. All our best players were on the pitch. Gabriel Jesus was on the pitch. Saka was on the pitch. Odegaard, all of our best players were on the pitch, and we were doing so well. But the thing is, the friendlies that we've played against Orlando City, the first half was terrible. The second half was great. Against Everton, the first half was good. The second half was a bit terrible, very, very quiet second half. Against Nuremberg, the first half was terrible, the second half was better. So I was hoping that does not happen this time again. The first half was really good. I was hoping the second half wouldn't be that wouldn't be as bad as the ones we've had recently. And I was even more fearful because I knew when these players went off, I knew the guys who were going to come on. We knew Pablo Mario was going to come on for Gabriel. We knew, let's say, Niles was going to come on for Odegaard. We knew someone like Bellerin was going to come on for White. Tavares was going to come on for Zinchenko. We knew all these players were going to come on. And yes, I was a bit worried. Because it was only a 2-goal lead that could just get wiped out within 5 minutes if one of your defenders made a mistake. I was right, and I knew Chelsea were going to bring in the likes of Koulibaly, their new players, Filiqueta at the back defense, ZH, Pulisic. I knew they were going to probably score in that second half, but that did not happen, man. How wrong was I? So we did make a sub at halftime, but only one sub. Tavares came on for Zinchenko. Zinchenko only got 45 minutes, but in those 45 minutes, he did okay. I'll come to the player ratings very, very soon. Tavares was really, really good. Not like as amazing as the likes of Jesus, but I guess sometimes it does help whoever you're playing with on the pitch. I guess when Tavares is on the pitch with the likes of Niles and Pablo Mari, we know sometimes it can be very raw and very untrustworthy. Like you can't really trust him that much. But then if you combine him with the likes of Pablo Mari and Niles, it becomes so bad. Maybe if Tavares is on the same pitch with the likes of Gabriel and Ben White, maybe he just has to improve his game, and you can naturally see him improving his game, and he has those good players around him as well. And he did okay. So at halftime, only made one sub, and then they kept on trying to foul us. They tried to keep on injuring our players once again, and we had to make a sub. Jesus went off and Nketiah came on, which I don't mind. I was actually screaming for Nketiah at halftime. I was saying, remember what Nketiah did to Chelsea last time out? If he comes in and does the same, you can score 6 goals against Chelsea. And I don't care if it's a friendly or not. You beat Chelsea, it's a London derby, you beat them, you make sure London is red and Orlando is red as well. And I mean, if you beat a team 4-0, 5-0 before the season, you kind of kill their confidence a bit heading into the season. I mean, just check Chelsea's Instagram post and Twitter post. The Chelsea fans are having a meltdown. Why is Thomas Tuchel playing a back four? We don't want a back four. Why is Emerson still a Chelsea player? Why is Jorginho playing as the lone midfielder? Like, the Chelsea fans are having a meltdown. So that is a benefit for us. Even though it's just a friendly, you win the game, especially by that many goals, you kill their confidence, you bring up a meltdown, you enjoy the meltdown, and you go into the season more confident. Remember last season? We are the ones who lost a lot of friendly games against Chelsea, against Tottenham. I think we didn't pick up any wins against Hibernian and Rangers as well. And then we actually went into the season very no confidence at all. And what happened? We lost against Brentford. We lost against Chelsea again. We lost against Man City. We carried on the performances from the preseason to the season. So most of the times, as people say, it doesn't really matter if you win. Sometimes you can go into the season and lose. It doesn't matter if you lose all your preseason games. You can go into the season and win. I don't agree with that, especially from last season. There is proof. We did very poorly in the preseason games, and we carried on that form into the season. This time round, we are winning all our preseason games, and you can see the team is gelling. The team is happy playing together, and hoping that form gets carried on to the season. So Jesus went off, Nketiah came on. Within 2 minutes, Nketiah picked up a yellow card. This is when the referee started getting harsh a bit. But that did not stop Arsenal. Even after those 2 changes, Chelsea made a couple as well. We got our 3rd goal. Again, if you haven't seen that 3rd goal, Jesus' goal was so good. He dinked the goalkeeper. The 2nd goal, Martinelli's pass to Odegaard, was absolutely filthy. But the 3rd goal, Granit Xhaka was playing like a combination of Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, Kaká, and Rivaldo in that midfield. Like, whatever Xhaka was doing, Granit Xhaka made a forward run. He passed the ball, Saka dribbled past the defender, he shot the ball, it got blocked, and then Xhaka's touch, like he touched the ball, he flicked the ball behind his head, and it went over the Chelsea defender's head. And without the ball hitting the ground, Xhaka shot the ball with his right foot. It was almost like we were watching a combination of Lampard and Paul Scholes. And from that shot, the goalkeeper saved, and it fell to Saka, and it was the 3rd goal. Like, Xhaka was pushing forward so much today. Yes, we do believe that there's other players who can do better than Xhaka in that position. We know that. But for today, like, he did very well. Like, that pass was really, really, really good. And that shot, it was actually going in. If it went in, it could easily have been the best goal of the day. It was really, really good. So Xhaka helped with the 3rd goal. Saka scored. Saka always scores against Chelsea. We know it. He scores against Chelsea when he wants. And it was 3-0, and we were celebrating again. 3-0 against Chelsea. I do actually enjoy playing against Chelsea. I remember back in around 2010, 2011, 2012, we did not enjoy playing against Chelsea. They used to absolutely smash us by so many goals. We know that. But recently, like since and they still beat us in 2019 in the final, but most of the times, especially in these cups, Florida Cup, FA Cup, Community Shield, we usually beat Chelsea most of the times, and we've enjoyed a lot of successes against them the last 2 seasons, home or away. We really, really enjoy playing against Chelsea, and it was 3-0, and I think at that time we made more subs, so we did bring in Matt Turner. Matt Turner came on for Ramsdale. We also brought Pepe for Gabriel Martinelli. We also brought in Marquinhos, finally, his 2nd game for Arsenal. He came on for Saka. El Neni came on for Partey, and Cedric came on for White. So by the 70th minute, we had made 7 substitutions. But it didn't slow down there. It did not slow down there. we kept on playing really, really well. We kept on pulling the strings, creating more chances. It got a bit feisty. There's a time Xhaka, obviously, you expect Xhaka to be involved in a couple of fights, but it was started by Reece James. Reece James was fighting Tavares because of fouling too much. Reece James was done fouling too much, and then Xhaka came in, they started fighting and tussling and everything. There was a bit of that in a couple of stoppages. And then we made another sub again. Xhaka went off, Odegaard went off, Niles and Lokonga came on. But before that, there was a time Jesus went down and Xhaka went down at the same time, and I thought they were injured. And this is the time that I do not want any Arsenal player to get injured. I know everyone doesn't want any player to get injured, but some of you, I know some fans who usually say it's fine even if Xhaka gets injured so that we can play someone else. I don't agree with that, especially not this season. We have Europa League. I want us to win Europa League. We have the Premier League. We allowed 5 substitutions. You have to be very, very solid, and you have to have all the numbers. And Xhaka from the bench, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, I really don't mind Xhaka coming from the bench. And today he played really, really well. And the thing with Xhaka when it comes to playing these tougher teams, these top teams, apart from getting the red cards, he usually does bring in the team spirit, and he brings in the fight. Like, you won't bully Xhaka. That is the one thing I love about him. I guess you guys can agree as well. Like, in terms of fighting the opposition, I love that. So the only problem is that the red cards, and he can't keep the discipline most of the time. He can't control it. We kept on playing well. We kept on pushing. We kept on passing the ball around well, keeping possession, creating chances. Even all of a sudden, you couldn't tell that you had made subs. Remember last time against Orlando City? You could tell the team that played in the first half and the team that played in the second half. You could tell when Niles was on the pitch, and you could tell when Odegaard was on the pitch, because the difference in quality was massive. You could also tell against Everton, like in the first half, we were really good, and then the moment you took out the likes of Jesus, the team slowed down. Today, when he brought in all those players like El Neni, we brought in Pepe, Marquinhos, Cedric, Turner, Tavares, I didn't notice it at all. And Chelsea actually brought in even better players. Kovacic, they brought in Pulisic, they brought in Ziyech, Koulibaly, Chilwell, Alonso. I'm not sure if Chilwell came on, but Azpilicueta came on, Alonso came on. They brought in most of their big hitters as well. But that did not phase us at all. We kept on creating chances. It could have been 4, it could have been 5. And finally, Lokonga made it 4. Like, when Lokonga starts scoring, like Nelson scored in the last game and Lokonga scored now, things are looking good for you. And it was 4-0 to Arsenal in the 92nd minute. I didn't even catch who assisted that goal. I was busy celebrating it. But Lokonga scored with a header. It was a cross from the right side to the far post, and Lokonga headed it in. He was all alone, and it was a well-controlled head. It's not like Lokonga scored the head. It was just easy. No. Like, it was a well-controlled header. He looked at where he was going to put it. He put it to the goalkeeper's left, and it was 4-0. Arsenal 4, Chelsea 0. I do not care if it's a friendly. We have won that game, and I'm absolutely buzzing. 4-0 to Arsenal. What a performance. We'll come to the player ratings right now, but the preseason winning all these games, absolutely welcome, man. Nuremberg, 5 goals. Everton, clean sheet against them. Another 5 goals against Ipswich, another 3 goals against Orlando City, and 4 against Chelsea. Do the maths. How many goals are those? Those are like 19 goals, if I'm not wrong. Those are lots of goals to score in this preseason. And that is not even the thing that has impressed me. Last couple of games against Chelsea and against Everton, we kept clean sheets. I remember against Nuremberg, we conceded a lot of goals, and people are like, I'm not impressed with the defense. But we kept on telling you guys, the defense, at the time that we had the likes of Pablo Mari on the pitch, that is when we were conceding the goals. Like, take a look. Today we had Gabriel, Saliba, and Ben White, Zinchenko playing as well. We did not concede a goal. Last time, we conceded the goal against Orlando City in the first half because of Tavares' mistake. But as soon as Saliba and Gabriel came on, no goal conceded. Against Everton in the first half, second half, no goal conceded. And the likes of Gabriel on the pitch again, no goal conceded.